Welcome to section 21.2, Threats to Biodiversity. This image shows a vibrant rainforest in the distance, a reminder of Earth's incredible diversity. But biodiversity worldwide is under threat, largely because of human actions, as evidenced by the logging activity in the foreground of the image. In this section, we will examine the main drivers of biodiversity loss: habitat destruction, overharvesting, invasive species, hunting, and climate change. Understanding these threats is the first step toward protecting ecosystems. By the end of this section, you should be able to identify the significant threats to biodiversity, explain the effects of habitat loss, exotic species, and hunting, and discuss early and predicted effects of climate change on biodiversity. Human population growth combined with unsustainable resource use is the central driver of biodiversity loss. As we extract timber, fish, and other resources faster than ecosystems can replenish them, we destabilize entire communities and food webs. This overuse erodes the natural capital we depend on. Scientists group the main threats into four categories: habitat loss, overharvesting, exotic species introductions, and increasingly climate change. Each of these factors can cause extinctions on its own, but together they amplify one another's impacts. We'll examine each threat in more detail on the next few slides. Eliminating or fragmenting habitats is the leading cause of species extinction. For example, vast forests in Sumatra and Borneo have been cleared for palm oil plantations, leaving species like orangutans without homes. Habitat loss not only removes shelter and food, but also isolates populations, reducing genetic diversity. Unsustainable harvesting can collapse entire ecosystems. The Western Atlantic cod fishery famously crashed after decades of overfishing, devastating local economies and marine food webs. Overharvesting can also target timber, bushmeat, or plants like ginseng, depleting populations faster than they can recover. In parts of equatorial Africa and Asia, unsustainable hunting and the bushmeat trade threaten numerous species. What once was occasional subsistence hunting has scaled up due to demand and modern weapons. Increased harvest rates now outpace species' ability to rebound, pushing many populations toward collapse. When non-native species are introduced to new environments, whether intentionally or accidentally, they often have no natural predators or controls. The brown tree snake on Guam is a notorious example. Since its arrival in 1950, it has driven multiple native bird species to extinction through predation and competition. Anthropogenic climate change is emerging as one of the most powerful extinction drivers. Warming interacts with habitat loss and other pressures to amplify impacts. For instance, the Grinnell Glacier in Glacier National Park has retreated dramatically as temperatures have risen over 1.3 degrees Celsius since 1900, reducing summer meltwater critical to local ecosystems. As regional climates shift, species must move to track suitable habitats. North American white-breasted nuthatches, for example, have migrated northward over the last century as temperatures warmed. Range shifts can disrupt existing ecosystems and spark new competition among species. Polar bears depend on sea ice to hunt seals. As Arctic sea ice shrinks, hunting seasons shorten, the bears travel further for food, and survival rates drop. they've become a symbol of climate change's impact on biodiversity, highlighting the urgency of mitigating greenhouse gas emissions. Changing temperatures and precipitation patterns make some habitats uninhabitable. As species move, they may encounter competitors or predators they've never faced. Fragmented habitats limit their ability to migrate, further stressing populations. These compounding effects make biodiversity conservation more challenging. Habitat loss, overharvesting, exotic species, hunting, and climate change are driving biodiversity declines worldwide. These threats disrupt ecosystems, alter species ranges, and increase extinction risk. Addressing them requires global cooperation, sustainable resource use, and proactive conservation strategies.